to remind you with hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There is a hadith. Who is the Muslim? Who is the true Muslim? Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the true Muslim, that people are safe from his hand and tongue. Right, Sheikh Yusuf? So people have to be safe from our bad actions or our bad talks. So our great and distinguished heroes and guests will educate us in this moment, and I will leave, inshallah, this moment for them to, of course, introduce each other and to tell us about the goals of this meeting. Thank you very much again, and you are welcome. Thank you.
Please give Sheikh Fatanaya, he's giving us
So, no, we'll talk.
If
I'm
you want to
loud.
introduce them.
Yeah, he's gonna, we'll go talk to him. Yes.
We are all very, very happy and excited and honored and humbled to be here.
Can you use that?
Here, brother, use this.
We're very happy to be here with you guys today. We're going to talk to you about a couple things, and at the end we'll open it up for you guys to ask us questions about whatever it is that you guys want to talk to us about. All right? So my name is Mudassir Malik. I'm a detective with the State Police. I've been a trooper for about 8 years now. We formed a Muslim Police Officer Society about a year and a half ago in New Jersey. There are over 150 Muslim police officers in the state throughout, between the state police, local departments, sheriff's departments, county departments, and we decided to bring all of our officers together to form a faith-based organization that's based around serving our Muslim and non-Muslim community. So we'll work together with various other organizations, and we'll have officers come out, volunteer, and do things like talking to you guys. We'll help out at soup kitchens, and we'll do so much more. So that's our little organization, and today we're here to talk to you guys about a few things in the community. When we're all done, we want you to ask questions. This is not us just lecturing you or talking to you. This is a conversation. We want you to be engaged. We want you to participate, right? We're here for you. We serve you. We work for you, right? But we want you to open up to us, and we want to be able to do that with you guys. So whatever you're thinking, I guarantee you the person next to you is thinking the same thing. Just ask the questions. We're here, and we'll do our best. If we don't know the answer, which we often don't, we'll find out, and we'll get back to you with an answer, all right?
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Commander Kaba. I'm from the Passaic County Sheriff's Department. I've been here to this masjid many times, and especially today, I want to special thanks for the state trooper here for inviting me here. Some of you may be seeing me at the El Ghazali High School. I usually go there once a week, but maybe some of you will go there in September, and you'll see me more. I've been working with the Passaic County Sheriff's Department almost 20 years now. Pretty much I worked everywhere in the Passaic County. I started at the Passaic County Jail. I also worked at the Passaic County Superior Courthouses, Criminal Family Division, and also I worked in patrol. I was assigned to the special, I had a special assignment. It was called Water Resource. We were protecting all the water sites, all the pump stations and everything. I'm going to next give one of my other colleagues to introduce themselves for now.
Good afternoon. How you guys doing, girls, everybody? I'm Detective Alvis with the Passaic County Sheriff's Department. I got 23 and a half years. I started in Passaic County Jail, Corrections. I did that for 3 years. Then I moved on into the Superior Court. I was there for a while. And I was up in Wayne at headquarters, and I'm a detective for the last 6 months. And now, Commander, what do you want to do? You want to talk about it and just introduce ourselves? All right.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mansour Petrovich. I'm actually from the Al Ghazali school system. I went to Al Hikmah when I was in elementary school, and then we graduated, myself and Mudassir, from Ghazali. So I have a lot to thank to the system. I have a lot to thank this community. I was coming here since, the Sheikh knows, I was here since I was smaller than a lot of you guys. Currently, I'm a police officer with the Port Authority Police Department. I'm located at the Lincoln Tunnel. If anybody knows, that's the tunnel that connects New Jersey and Manhattan. I've been on the job for about 2 years now, so I'm fairly new. I'm not, as as knowledgeable as a lot of the officers up here, but hopefully I'll be able to help you out, answer any questions you guys have.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ihsan Abdul Rasul, and I was born in Lebanon, grew up in Lebanon, and I moved here like 30 years ago. Currently, I'm a deputy in Essex County Sheriff Department, and I just want to tell you guys you are blessed to have such a center and such imams to guide you and to show you the right path. Assalamu alaikum.
I'm just going to piggyback what he said the word. You're blessed. Beautiful facility, beautiful teachers, right? Smart, guidance. So what's left for you guys to do? Who could answer that? What's left for you guys to do? You're inside, you're not outdoor. You got great scholars, right? You all look great. None of you have issues, food, or anything that you need to, keep growing. So what's the next thing what you guys have to do? Go ahead. Learn. Go ahead. Somebody else? Okay. What else? Direct yourselves to the right path. One more from here. To be leaders. So in other words, we came today, we talked a little bit together, and what are some of the issues? Well, some of the issues up here, especially with the young generation that I see every day, I do this pretty much every day. I push myself, people to know who I am. Because you know what, as a police officers, all of us here, we have accountability and we have responsibility for our communities. We, myself and my partner, we did the graduation for our Ghazali. And it was an honor for them to give me 2 minutes to speak. And you know what I said? Because most of the students there, they're all bright. They have a great future. So I told them, I said, listen, your future is in your primary hands, right? If you don't want to do well, blow it out. But if you want to move on, cherish it. You have all the equipment, all the knowledge, it's everything to you. But what makes you deviate from that? Who could answer that? What will deviate your brain from that? It's called social media, right? That's the biggest problem we have with the youth now. Social media, it's good, but you don't go beyond, okay? We want to talk about a little bit about what's happening with the youth out there with the mental status. A lot of them, it's the biggest thing out there we're having is depression. I'm going to ask you a question. Who has here TikTok? TikTok, what do you call it? Raise your hand. Raise it. I can't see it. I can't see it. Raise it all the way. What do you guys think of it? It's a good thing to have or a bad thing to? Huh? It is horrible because could you believe now there are a lot of people out there in your status, because we go to all the different schools and everything, they get upset because they didn't get many likes, many shows, or whatever you want to call it, support. Is that the reality? And you know what? We are the real deal right here. Whatever question you have, you ask us. Don't go ask Siri. Because do you know who's behind there? Do you know who's behind there? Who's serious? Nobody knows, huh? You really don't know. And that's the problem today. If I come and I take your phones away, some of you probably won't even know how to go home. Okay? That is the problem today. And then what happened? They go into depression and they meet the wrong crowd and they turn into things, all different substances that are out there. All right? We are known to not impair our brains. Who could tell me what I just said? Go ahead. Not to, that's, okay. What happens when your brain is impaired? It's messed up. You don't make the right judgments, right? And that's the biggest problem today that we're having with the youth, okay? Do you know, if you go about a mile and a half from here, down West Broadway, do you know what's out there? Who's from Paterson here? Raise your hands. All right, well, if you go down there, it's called the 4th Ward. You know, it's really, really sad what you see out there. And if you think there's not zombies exist, they do. It's a real zombies out there. It's a young generation like you. They don't even know what they're doing with this heroin, with the epidemic. Who knows what epidemic is? Go ahead. Okay. All right. What else? Okay. You know, it's simple. It's some of the stuff. It's drugs, I guess. Something that impairs your mind. We're having a big problem today with pills. Listen, every household here, they probably have medication at home, Advils and all this stuff. You know, till yesterday, medication was the best thing for us, but today, from today on, medication is the #1 killer today. You know, especially like all the painkillers and everything, you know. And you know, and I've been here, and Shay knows, I've been here many times because I'm the guy who does the funeral escorts. And I've been here many times to see young generation, I guess, oh, you can hear up there? Okay, you know, with this epidemic with the heroin, where people overdose. Well, I have a family member, my nephew, 32 years old, he overdosed 3 times. And the last time I thought he's not going to have a chance. He did. He's lucky. Most of his friends are gone. All right? How he got hooked up into that? None of our families have the history of that. Because he started young, started going out there, started going to the gym, trying to work out. Who works out here? Okay? He started working out and everything, and then somehow he hurt his back. A lot of people go into opioids through back pain. All right? He started going to the gym. He couldn't work out, and somebody from the gym said, hey, take this pill. It's going to make you strong. You'll be fine. It took him about 7 years to catch up. He lost everything out there. Beautiful job, everything. He came to a point that he goes, I don't want to live. Okay? Because of who he hung out with, who he socialized, and everything. And that's a big problem today. And most of you, that's all you do. You guys socialize, interact. You really don't know who's on the other side. You know? And to a point that you think it's cool. It's not cool. What's happening now, it's really not cool. That's the worst addiction, worst disease you could have. Every time my older brother calls me, I say, all right, what happened now? You know? A couple of weeks ago, I lost another friend. Same thing, 25 years old. Found him in the woods. At one point, we had every day 2 to 3 bodies, 2.5 years ago. I'm surprised during the COVID, it was fine. We thought it was going to be worse because, you know what, nobody could go out, right? But I guess a lot of people were home and entertained through social media and stuff. But it was very, 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 and it's still bad. Because I don't know how we're gonna fix that. We're out there every day locking people up, every day, but still. It's a serious disease. I sit down with my nephew, I talk to him, I said, tell me, he talks to me like there's nothing wrong with him. When that clicks in his brain, and that's it, it's all over. You know, he'll come from Wayne and he'll come all the way down here and pick up whatever he needs. But I told him one day, it's gonna be it. You know? How many of you guys seen anybody do any kind of drugs? Okay? Or heard? You think, you know what I'm saying? To a certain point, remember, I was once like you guys. Okay? But at my time, it was a little bit different now. Now it's much harder being you. Because everything that's negative out there, it's easier to get to you guys because you all have those, what do you call, smartphones? You know. But again, does that phone go on by itself or no? Look, my phone, I can look at it, it'll open up, but does it work by itself? No, you have to touch it, right? So you have to look in for stuff. Why should you look at stuff that it doesn't pertain to you? You know, how many of you play video games? Fortnite, all that. My son does too. He's 20 years old, he still plays. I mean, it's fine to a point. Okay? Yeah, but not to the point that you want to go and smack the X4, you know. Huh? Okay? You're getting mad. Big deal. You lost. You could play again. Listen, I could talk. I could go on and on and on. But I'm telling you, one little mistake could haunt you for the rest of your life. Every time you look at that phone, he actually looks back at you. So whatever you do in there, it will stay there. You're smart, you whatever, you go into the school and everything, that little thing that you did, it could really, you know, put you back. Just give you an example. You want to be a police officer. What we see a lot with that, it's called a background check. You could be the smart, get score very high in the test and everything. Just your background check, forget it. First thing to ask now, if you guys want to become us, you give us a password of whatever social media you have. And believe it or not, people fail, they don't make it because they shared something, whatever he put on, and he shared it, and that was it. You know? I really like a lot to go on in questions, but I'm just going to give them a little bit touch up, talk about whatever, because I see it in a county level, okay? And you have him, he sees it on the whole state level. And you and us, same thing. He sees it both, back and forth. It's really a serious issue out there. Okay, you should be very proud and honored to have a facility again like this and to unite. Because if we don't come here and speak to you guys, somebody else will speak. If they come speak to you, they'll speak to their own benefit. Remember, that's what's going on out there. You know? And you know, we're looking forward. We're banking on you guys. Because we need somebody to replace me. Replace all of us. Well, I can't do this anymore. And you know what? Our job, I am proud to be who I am. I came here from Albania, I was 10 years old. Came here, worked, and look who am I today. So the land of opportunity, it is here. But you have to make the right decisions. You have to make the right choices. Otherwise, believe me, down the street, there's many more room for others who fail. They end up there. You know? So, I don't know. You guys want to add anything? Or you want to just add? You know? Then I'm telling you, the question is... Yeah.
So we're talking about a heavy subject here, right? It's something usually in our community that gets brushed under the rug. Nobody wants to talk about it. People don't want to address it, but it's a real concern. It's in our communities, right? And our communities aren't prone to drugs or any other type of vice that's out there. We all live, there's no fence that cuts this community off from all the vices that are out there. So we're talking about something heavy. My background, I worked in street crimes, basically doing narcotics and gun jobs in Trenton, Paterson, Newark. And when we arrest people for narcotics, whether it's heroin, cocaine, etc., you ask them and you talk to them after the fact, it all started with that one single time that they wanted to try something, or it was, you know, from medication that they wanted to do. And then it takes years off their life. It's just so hard to come back off of. So for something like that, it's just better never to start it. Don't get involved with it, you know? You guys should be aware of what the consequences of that are. Nobody can ever come up here and say that there are positive consequences for using narcotics. I've never heard that in 8.5 years. I've never heard that, right? So it's a heavy subject. It's something that is out there, and we're ignorant if we, as a community, if we decide to brush it under the rug. We got to address it. We got to talk about it. And for people that are involved with it, we got to try to help them break out of it. And there are so many resources for that to happen. Now, we talked a little bit about that, right? We'll talk about a couple other things that you guys want to talk about, right? Because, again, we're here for you. We're here because we care, right? I went to high school with Mansour. We both went to Ghazali. We both graduated from there, right? So we obviously both come here and have been coming here for a very long time. We represent you guys in law enforcement, and you guys represent us in the community, and vice versa at all times, right? So we're not too far removed from you. We're not just random people that are from somewhere far away and we're here to talk to you about X, Y, and Z. We're from your community. We are you guys, essentially. So I'll pass the mic along, but before, because we have a few more minutes, if you guys have any questions that you want to ask us, we're going to answer. We're going to answer real. We're not going to beat around the bush. We're not going to make up some, fugazi answer. We'll give you the answers, even if it's a hard one. But we're here. Utilize our time. Ask us whatever you want to ask us, all right?
Jazakumullah khair. Guys, it's now time for Q&A. Please take advantage of this opportunity and ask whatever you want. The officers here are here for you guys to answer all of your questions. So who has a question for today? Raise your hand if you have any question. Go ahead, brother. Yes. Can you repeat your question again? Who wants to get this?
Well, I don't need a mic. I'll talk loud.
Because they want to listen to it in the live, so there's no way.
Yeah. Listen, it doesn't bother me, but I'm out there going and talking, interacting with people, and and believe it or not, many times I had that kind of conversation after introducing myself and after interacting with them, let them know what we do and everything. People change their mind. You know what I'm saying? You can't, it doesn't bother us because we're working with people every day. It doesn't. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, the advice I'm going to give to the kids, to the phone, you should use the phone for what the purposes that you really need. Because I'm telling you, one little mistake, it goes everywhere. I'll give you a scenario. This is for the young ladies here. I had a friend of mine at our culture center. We have our culture center too, same team. And every weekend the kids will come over. And when I talk to the kids, and I always told them, please put your phones away. And one of my best friends, his daughter, she was too much with the phone. So I told him one day, I said, listen, do me a favor. Please tell your daughter to put the phone away. Otherwise, I don't want to take it away while we're teaching, while we're interacting. He goes, oh, Kaba, you're very old school and all that and everything. I said, no problem. A few months back, she invited a bunch of girls, they call it for what? Pajama parties? She had them over the house. So what they were doing, what's the app called when you take pictures? What is it called? Oh, I know that. I just wanted to see if you guys know it. Snapchat. So what happened was, they were Snapchatting late at night. So one of the girls in the back, she was getting ready to put her pajamas. So when they're Snapchatting, right, pictures, that picture caught the girl's back. Thank God it was just her back. Okay? They didn't see it. They pushed the button and guess what happened with the picture? Went everywhere. Monday morning, the 6 girls and the parents had to go to the school. Okay? Do you know that till this day, my friend doesn't know that I know that. We are police officers. We know that. We get all these things every Monday morning when I go to work. I get a report what went on and everything. Do you know? But when I saw the girl and I looked in her eyes, I said, she knew. She was like, oh. Because thank God, they could have been expelled from school and everything. Just from what? Doing what do you call the young lady again? Snapchat. One Snapchat would have costed them all, Because like you said, what do you do with the phone? You shouldn't be in the phone. Okay? You shouldn't be. Because you know what? The phones don't lie. Humans lie, right? The phones don't lie. You can see it. Tells you the date, the time, and whatever you put out there. Any other question?
Thank you, brother. Yes. And please feel free if you want to take any answer.
Oh, yeah. We're actually doing the whole thing this week. we're arresting people. They're doing a whole warrant sweep. They're actually doing it right now. Huh? Well, they're arresting people who have warrants, people who have, they're wanted for all different issues. Remember, when you go in the court system, you have to go to court, and it's simple. You don't show up for court, they'll send a warrant for you.
We'll take 2 more questions, inshallah. Tariq? Can you repeat his question again so people can listen?
Yeah, so I just want to repeat, make sure I got it right. So the question is, weed, marijuana, which is recently legalized in a lot of states. Can you just repeat the second part?
So a lot of youth see weed as pretty harmless compared to heroin or harder drugs.
Right.
They get into it a lot. But with your experience, is weed all that harmless, especially with the youth, especially with all the different strains now in the streets?
Okay, so the question is for those who are listening. Weed is, harmless. It's a small drug. It doesn't do too much. What's our experience with it? The reason why I wanted to specifically answer this question is because a few weeks back, we got a call on our radio. There was an individual laying in the street, motionless. We get it all the time. Sometimes people pass out from it's too hot outside or whatever it is. We'll go respond, right? When we get there, I'll move over here because it was a little girl, probably 14, 15 years old, tops. She has suitcases all around her, but people were just walking by like nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nobody wanted to get involved, so we responded there. We called the EMS to come at the same time, and we're looking at this little girl to see what's wrong. Completely on the floor, passed out. Okay? At some point, she had a pulse, and then she lost her pulse. And we're running around, giving CPR, trying to bring her back, and a couple of other cops are trying to find out what's going on. Why would somebody just pass out and lose a pulse? And when they looked about 10, maybe 15 feet away from her, there was still a burning marijuana joint. Okay? Now, marijuana usually doesn't do that. Like you said, it's a gateway drug. It's not as bad as, the heroines and the ecstasies of the world. But when we sent it to the lab for testing, the little joint of marijuana, which is probably 3 or 4 inches long, was laced with something called fentanyl. Now, fentanyl is a drug that's being added to all kinds of different drugs to pervert the drug. And they're doing this on purpose for the sole reason of hurting people. So when people tell you marijuana is legal, oh, it's legal now. It's okay. The state said we can go to the store and buy it. Don't trust what people are telling you, because you never know what somebody's going to put in that marijuana drug. Again, stay away from it. It's something that makes you, go into this other state of mind, right? It's not something you need. It's not something you need. So again, a little joint, which we thought was just marijuana, when we sent it to get investigated, had all kinds of different drugs inside. And this girl is 16, like I said, 15, 16 years old. I see her face here. It's hard. It's hard for me to walk. I'm a father. I have a daughter. When I walk up and I see a little girl on the floor. And why? Because she had a little marijuana, which she thought was harmless. But again, somebody was trying to hurt people, and they will continue to try to hurt people. So there is no safe drug. Everything can be altered, manipulated, and like I said, we don't know because we didn't follow too far after that, but from what we heard, she didn't make it afterwards.
Oh.
From 3 inches of marijuana in a joint. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, I'll get a question from the sisters. Yes, sister. Who wants to take the... can you repeat your question again?
How common are the cases that revolve around the young youth, the younger generation?
So are you talking about drugs or in general? In general? So you could say a ton of different variety of situations, scenarios are cases that we get involved with that involve children. You have domestics, which are any type of family dispute that may or may not involve children. You have juvenile matters, which is basically a juvenile, a person that's under the age of 18 that commits a crime. You have anything, so anyone under 18 is considered a juvenile. Anyone that commits any sort of crime under the age of 18, they're dealt with as a juvenile. So and again, 17, 16, 15, you guys are all out there. You guys are part of the community, you're running around outside. So anytime they're involved in any type of police interaction, there's different laws that apply obviously to juveniles, but it's just as common as anything with an adult. Obviously, there's, like I just said, there's different laws that pertain to juveniles. So a lot of the departments, they have juvenile detectives or officers that deal specifically with the laws that pertain to juveniles, and that's their area of expertise. And they're extremely familiar with all the processes that go along with it. So it's just as common as any other, in good or in bad, where juveniles are involved in any type of case.
Thank you, brother. Last question. Yes, sister.
How do you apply for an arrest warrant, and have you ever shot somebody?
So thank God, no, to the second question. I don't think anyone has ever been in an officer-involved shooting. I'll be the first one to tell you, no police officer ever wakes up wanting to shoot anybody. It's the last thing that's on our mind. And it's the furthest thing that we go out to do. I know these guys all very well. We all try to wake up in the morning, get dressed, and go out and help the community. It's just a tool, like everything else on our belt, to help us through a certain situation if needed, but that's not why we're here. To apply for an arrest warrant,
Last one. Yes, go ahead, sister.
to apply for an arrest warrant, you said, how do you apply for one? So you have to have probable cause to make an arrest, all right? So if I see you or if I see somebody committing a crime in front of me, I have probable cause, I can go and arrest you or that person with my probable cause. If it's something after the fact and you've conducted an investigation and you have probable cause after the fact, you do an affidavit, a sworn affidavit that goes to a judge that basically tells them, based on the following investigation that you've conducted, you've investigated X, Y, and Z, and these are the facts that lead you to believe that this person has done whatever the crime is, and that judge has to approve that arrest warrant.
Can we take one more question? And thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, go ahead, Ya Jama.
100% yes. Is marijuana a gateway drug?
Yeah.
100%. Everyone here is going to say the same thing to you. Every cop that you're going to see outside is going to say the same thing to you. Yes.
Yes, please.
What the
Give him the
brother
microphone.
said over there, what he said over there. He said, oh, it's no big deal. What about river smoking? You guys think it's a good thing or a bad thing? Why? What's the bad thing about it? Because it brings you lung cancer down the road. So now we see it. Okay, because do you know how many chemicals are in the cigarette involved? Just the cigarette alone. Just tobacco, but how much stuff is inside? A lot. A lot. But the thing is, I want to say, all of you here, do you guys have all the same mental status? No, right? So when they say that, oh, it's no big deal, everybody, whatever you intake, it affects differently. But you know what, though? We're educated not to deal with that, not to deal with everything. Why would we want to try it? Go ahead. Exactly. Because that's the problem today. It's peer pressure. Oh, if you don't do this, you can't hang out with us. Okay? That's the biggest problem with the young generation today, because they see it out there and everything. Okay? What's another very, very bad thing that we didn't touch today about? It's alcohol. You guys know something that impairs your mind. That's why I said from the beginning, stay away from that. Because once your mind impaired, it doesn't matter anymore, you know? Right? Because what controls the body? The brain. Do you know there's many people in hospitals, they're alive, but you know what? When they say you're dead, when they consider you as a brain dead. But you're still breathing, the machine keeps them alive, everything, no broken bones, nothing. But when they say it's brain dead, you're done. And look at you guys haven't even started yet. Using your brain. You guys haven't started yet. What age? 14, 15, 16? And you know what? It's amazing that some of you already get mad. Oh, I can't take it no more. Who here pays mortgage at home? Raise your hand. Who pays your water bill? Who here pays electric bill? Oh, she does, she pays. None of you. Everything, it's all paid for you. So what stress? What would you bring you? Why would you, after we talk here, you're going to go with your boys, your group, and say, oh my God, I can't take this. What is the solution? Okay? It's a big factor in life is really, you got to pick and choose who you really hang out with, who you socialize, and who is your role models. I tell my kids, I have a daughter 23 years old. She's going to be 24. Next year, she's done with law school. I have a son, 20 years old. He's going to be 21 in October. Hopefully, he goes to law school. But if I tell you one thing, my daughter listens to this young man. Do you know my daughter has no Facebook? Do you guys believe it or not? 24-year-old is going to be going to law school, no Facebook. Because you know why she doesn't have it? Who can answer that? Nobody can answer that. Go ahead, why? It does, all that, but because you know why, Shira? Because I don't have it. My wife doesn't have it. I do not need to see somebody else's life. I kid you not. And today, if she had that, she won't be where she today. Because that, what happens to that when you have all that? It does. Studying and then, you go, does. But same my son too, same thing. Now they have to have some kind of program because everything now with the COVID, everything went online. But no. When she turned 18 years old, I told her, I said, now you could have anything you want. She looked at me like, are you kidding me, Dad? I said, you could have Facebook, Twitter, whatever, all those. No. So that's the problem today. We have so much stuff out there, and we don't know what to do, and we don't concentrate on what the most important thing is. You know? I can go on forever, and we will come back again.
Of course,
Please,
absolutely.
we'll come back
Guys,
again.
please give a huge round of applause to New Jersey Muslim Officers Association. And Jazakumullah khair, thank you so much for coming, and we'll definitely be honored to have you again, inshallah, at our masjid. You're always welcome at our masjid.
This is just a small thing.
Yes.
We can talk about, and whatever we talk about, it's what we went through it. I mean, I can go on and on, believe me. What we see every day, like he mentioned, I can go on with examples, okay? Because it is, but my biggest thing is because I get upset because you have every tool out there to not to fail, right? Every tool. Look, we're inside, we're talking. Look, you have people that are talking to you from the community, from within. You know, when I went to high school, believe it or not, we had people come from different places and everything. Now we're from within. In my community, we have police officers, we have attorneys, we have doctors, and same thing here. You know, ICPC is a very well-known, powerful organization.
Alhamdulillah.
Who comes here? All the people, the big people that come here. So you have a door, you have a future. Look, I didn't know. You wanted to get us down too? I'll say, here, okay? I'm telling you. And they want more to bring in. We could help you guys. We could help you out with applications, with everything.
Yes, please, inshallah.
But the only thing is, again, you got to watch what you do with that little thing. Call what? What is it called? A phone. Look. Years ago, I hate to tell you, years ago it was called a phone. You know what was a phone? The big in the kitchen with a cord that was pointing to the phone. Do you call that a phone? No. What do you call this? Why smart? Just a phone. Why? Because this does everything for you. Everything. This does for you. And that could be a good thing and a bad thing. Because somebody has things that you shouldn't be doing for you.
Thank you so much, officers, for coming out today. We really appreciate it. Jazakumullah khairan. One last question, you promise? Okay, last question here, and then we're going to end it because we have to move on with the program, inshallah. Yes, sister. Say it again.
listen, you shouldn't be carrying anything, right? You shouldn't be, no, you see then why you, all right, now let's reverse it. Why would you want to carry it?
Self-defense.